Okay, so a quick video on spellings. So let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at what we've done so far. So we've loads done actually in the 2 weeks of homeschooling. We've got these letter patterns: OULD, OUGH, OUGHT, IGHT, ITE, and all the work we did around them and dictation, things like that. Our core words I, J, and K, which are all listed on the other videos, and then the plurals that had S, add ES, and add VES. So we'll keep going over them in the exercise and things we do, and then we build on them with what's new. So this week we're doing OUR words. Now the first thing that comes into people's heads when they see that is the sound hour, but actually that letter string pattern of OUR very rarely makes the sound hour. It does in certain words like flower and the hours of the clock and things like that, but it very often makes an sound or an or sound or even an sound. So your first job number one, is to compile lists of OUR words, and I'll talk you through that in a second. And this week also we'll be focused on core words L from core words list 3. Okay, so let's go to the OUR words. So as I said, there's a whole pile of sounds. If you want, you can compile them in relation to their different sounds. So if you wanted to break them into their 4 main sounds that they make. So like I said, they've got an hour sound, so you could start with flower or hour and compile them down that way. This is completely up to you. You can put them all in one big list if you want. Then they can also make an or sound like court or pour or course. And like you can see clearly, OUR doesn't have to come at the end of a word. It can come at the start like ourselves. It can come at the end like our, but it can come in the middle like course. You can also make an OUR sound like tourist or tourism. And then the most common one is an sound, like here it is in the middle. If we go journal, and it comes a lot at the end, like savor, or you could change that to savory if you wanted. You'll see a lot in a lot of the books you read. They have the American spellings, and they put OUR at the end of the word simply as OR. So we'd spell honor HONOUR, but Americans would spell it HONOR. So just be careful of that. Okay, so compile those lists and we'll integrate them into our activities that we're doing later on. Our core words this week, L words. I'll just quickly go through them. Laugh, a strange pattern. It's a bit like when you're doing the OUGH words, and sometimes you could have cough and a sound that you wouldn't usually associate with GH, but I don't know, maybe a mnemonic or something to help you figure it out. So look at us going home or whatever works for you. Lawn, maybe make a connection with another word that has the same pattern, like dawn, and if you can get a phrase in your head, these are just suggestions. Come up with your own ways. So like the lawn was glistening at dawn, something like that. I put these two together because they follow a rule we did earlier in the year in our spellings. Drop the E, add ing. So leave, you drop your E in leave and add ing. And living, you drop the E in live and get living. Simple enough if you remember that rule. Library, the spelling almost reads like library, so sometimes you have to almost think like library. I used to remember how to spell knife because my dad used to always call it a knife at home as a joke, so I always remembered there was a K to start with. So maybe you can even think in your head that this is a library for spelling purposes. Listen has the number 10 in it, and lovely. You can come up with your own pattern for that. So what do I want you to do with these to build them up this week? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a Word document, okay? And I'm going to have it full of OUR words, and I'm going to have it full of all the other patterns and the core words we've done, but they're going to be spelt wrongly. So your job will be to either print it off and find the words that are wrong. If you have access to a printer, that'd be great. Or else just copy it down and rewrite the words that are wrong, or rewrite the paragraph. So it might be something like, I could go to court. Okay, so straight away you'll know from the work you did on you'll have donut words that this would have to be COULD, and court from this week C-O-U-R-T. Spot the mistakes, okay? Just a new way of thinking of it. I'll send you on dictations, 1 or 2 dictations, but this is what I want you to focus on more. Also, take the words that we've done and write any silly story, all the patterns, and make them into a silly story. Just a few lines long, maybe 8 or 9 lines long. It can be anything like, so I wouldn't. There's a pattern. I wouldn't plow. There's another. The field for all the flower in the library. Okay, I'm getting loads of core words and loads of pattern words in there. Also, take a book, any book, like take your novel if you've got The Blue Horse or something like that, and open it up on a random page and see can you spot any patterns that we've done. Galloping, galloping, she could. There we have it straight away. Look, it's getting ingrained in her head. Hear the thunder of whose. There's our plural. Let's add S onto it. The dream came again. That was a core word we had at the start of the year. She was about to touch it when she woke up. A feeling of loss over. She was really. There's another core word we had from list 2. Downstairs and get a drink of milk. The light. Aha. IGHT pattern from last week. In the kitchen. Aha. Another core word was already. And already was a core word from start. So you see they're popping up everywhere. Sitting was a rule we did. WR consonant add ing. So take a book. I can see could popping up there again. Loads of them everywhere. So enough. Oh, you got homework word. So get them ingrained in your head that way. And again, use the games that we went through last week, like the hairy legs and the stairwells. They'll really help you to cement everything you've done so far. So keep it up. Well done.